in this video I'm going to go through how to get into your full Vashistasana with your leg up high and troubleshoot some of the common problems that people run into when they try to get there. And at the end I'll show you some creative examples of how you can use and get into this position in your flow or when you are creating your yoga flow. So let's get started on the mat. So obviously we are in a side plank here, but the one thing I will say, the secret to get into this position will be counterbalance. Obviously the core has to work a lot to get there, but you will have to shift your body depending on where this leg that's going up is going to be in space. So from your plank pose, bring the feet together and shift yourself over into a side plank. And then just find that push of the floor with your bottom hand. Make sure that the wrist is stacked underneath your shoulder so you're not hanging out here or way too far over, because that's going to put a lot of strain on your wrist. To get into this position, first of all, this top knee has to come in towards the chest, and I'm going to use my peace fingers around my big toe here to get the leg up. Now this leg is now creating a lot of weight in front of me, so as I stretch it out, if I'm not shifting my hips back to counterbalance the weight of my leg going forward, I'm gonna fall forward. So there's this feeling from your side plank, when this leg comes forward, your hips has to shift back to counter that weight. So now my hips are shifted back, I can stretch my leg in front of me. As I rise the leg to the sky, I have to start pushing my hips forward again so it's in line with my foot and my arm. And then I can start to maybe open up the chest and look up towards that foot. Another common problem that happens is just that if the hips are not pushing forward as the leg goes up, you're gonna fall back. So let's have a look at that. Because my hips has shifted back to allow this leg to come forward, as this leg comes up, if my hips don't shift back, first of all, my hips are going to start to tilt up towards the ceiling instead of being stacked in a plank position. And also I'm going to have way too much weight going this way, which will probably get me off balance. So if I just show you that, from here, let's try that again. From here, my hips are piked. I lift this leg, but I'm not pushing my hips forward. I get too much weight. First of all, it feels really hard to hold that position. I cannot hold it with ease. And I am very off balance and back heavy. So the important thing is here, I'm gonna do this on my knee. Now, from here, see how I'm pushing my hips forward. So it's almost like a little feeling of an expansion in the front body here. And I also find that I have to slightly stick my butt out. Don't tell the technician police, but I have to stick my butt out a little bit to allow that leg to come all the way up into an open position. Obviously, I would recommend you to stretch your inner thighs before you do this, so that you have that extra space and that you have prepared your legs for what you're about to make them do. Another thing that gets really important, as that leg comes up, my hips are back. I really have to cinch in my waist, that's at the bottom here, by pushing that arm into the floor and lift up my hips. The further down towards the floor my hips are, the heavier they feel. So I'm going to show you two variations here. One where I lift my hips up in the way that I would like to do. So my leg comes forward, my hips pikes back. I'm very centered here, balanced. My hips pushes forward, and look how I'm pushing my hips further away from the floor. If they stay hanging down here, it feels really heavy. Okay, it feels really heavy for this bottom arm. It's not getting any help from the core keeping you up there, and we need to use the core a lot here not to put all the weight and all the pressure on this poor little arm shaking at the bottom here. Okay. So, that being said, let me go through some funky creative variations that you can put into your practice.